If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a person like myself that actually took some time to actually discover who he truly was and find out who he wanted to become and decide to go on that path at like 110%, like 200%, chances are you don't really fit in with your old friends anymore. And so you kind of just become this person that is in between getting rid of their old friends and finding new ones based on the simple fact that you are pursuing a type of lifestyle that all of your old friends would not agree with. Now, I'll tell you a little bit of a story so that maybe you can relate to this. I am 23 years old right now. I'm going to be 24 this year in a couple months. And when I was, roughly, I guess 2-3 years ago, I was in a different country. So I've moved countries from my country of birth, France, to New Zealand, which this is where I am here now. And so I was 21, and I was spending most of my time just playing video games just all day, just all the time. Every single time I had a bit of spare time, video game. Every single time I was left alone at the house, video game. Every single time I didn't know what to do in the evening, video game. Every single time I would wake up, video game. If I didn't have to go to work or didn't have to go to school, video game. That's basically what I did, like 24/7. Like, sure, I used to sleep, but sometimes my sleep got sacrificed in order to play more video games. That's how addicted I was at the time. Because all of my friends were on there. My entire ecosystem that I had created for myself was on the video game. And so what ended up happening is I ended up becoming more and more and more, I guess, isolated from real connections and real people and all of this reality, and focused my time on improving my skills in the video games so that I could become better and better and better and better, so that I could reach the summit, even though it might be impossible. It might not be a feasible thing anymore. But regardless, so I was spending all of this time on strategy games, shooter games, combat games, survival games, creating these systems and these worlds where I would just spend so much of my time in with my friends there that as soon as I discovered that I actually wanted to become a completely different person, that I actually decided, you know what, I don't actually relate to these people anymore. All of the friends I've made on the video games, I can't really relate to them anymore. Because they just want to play video games all day like I used to do. And that's not me anymore. I can't just sit around and play video games all day anymore. So what do I do? Do I just delete these friends and never talk to them ever again? Or do I just kind of talk to them once in a while whenever they want to talk, and then slowly just transition the relationship into not talking anymore? Or do I keep talking to them? What do I do? And so today's topic on today's video, I really wanted to talk a bit more about this, I guess, feeling of loneliness when you're transitioning between who you were into who you are becoming. If you're in a transitional phase where you're going from one country to another country, you're switching from one language to another, you're changing your career completely, you're changing schools, you're moving houses, something like that. Well, there is a certain kind of, I guess, loneliness that you have to be okay with, that you have to understand and you have to embrace, I guess, when you actually are in that transitional phase. Because you haven't really gotten rid of all of your friends yet from the past, but you still haven't gotten that many friends from the new environment. So you're a bit of in a transitional phase, and you honestly have two options. What I did was I cut out everybody like that. And so it was very hard, very, very hard for me to transition quickly. It wasn't as quick as I thought. It took me like over a year of realizing that I actually need to go slowly away from things in order to cut them out. I can't just click my fingers and then be done with it. I still had attachment to the video game because of how many hours I had sunk into it and how many hours I've sunk into the relationships I had there. And so every single day, instead of playing all day video games, I would limit my time that I would play more and more. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up saying, okay, well, I'm gonna play video games after I'm done working. So what I would do is I would work in the morning, then I would go to the gym, I would come back home, eat some food, work a bit more, and then at the end of the day, I would play some video games with my friends. That's what I ended up doing. And at first it was like going from like 8 to fucking 14 hours to all the way down to like maybe like 3 or 4 hours. And then slowly I transitioned it into 2 hours, then 1 hour. And then today I barely even do an hour of video games a day. Like it's not even a thing anymore. Like I might play video games with one of my friends, like maybe, or we don't actually even play, to be perfectly honest. We just, I guess, chat now. We just hop on a call and we just have a chat for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. That's it. And that way I still have that social degree of, I guess, influence, social element to my life that is fulfilled in a way, because I care more about these people than the people I might meet today for now. And I'm the kind of guy that cares about like deeper, more genuine connections. So whenever somebody I truly bond with is actually there to listen to me, to acknowledge me, to help me, and I can do the same thing for them, then that's the best kind of relationship, I think. And so you have to be aware of this loneliness when you're transitioning from one thing to another. Because if you don't embrace fully the change and you do your best to meet new people and to create new bonds and to do more things, then in that case, you're going to end up creeping back towards those old things that you tried to delete. For me, it was, I used to delete all of the video games on my computer, and then in the evening I would get bored as fuck, and so I would just re-download one of them and I would play it, and then I would uninstall it, and then the next day I would just do it again. And then one day I said, no video games. Didn't do any video games. Okay. Next day, didn't do any video games. Next day, did a little bit of video games, but uninstalled it again. And then I kept uninstalling the thing, so that way in my mind, it felt like, I don't want to install it again, actually. Because every single time I boot up the game, I would basically just, I guess, manipulate myself into thinking, I'm going to have to fucking delete it again. I'm going to have to fucking delete all this progress and all this stuff. And I'm not going to be able to do anything. And then I'm not going to be able to save stuff. And And then, you know what? I can't be fucked anymore. I don't want to play it. That's how I manipulated myself into stopping video games. And so I know that if I download it yet again, I'm going to get sucked into it because it's really well made. But I have more important things to do. So now whenever I'm playing a video game, I'm stressed as fuck. Because I have responsibilities. I have stuff that I need to look at. People are that depend on me. I have people that I'm working with. I have clients that have expectations that I've told them, hey, I'm gonna do this for you. You're gonna have this amount of money in return, and they pay me. I don't want to disappoint them, and so that is more important than playing a video game for me. And when you actually are this way, you're built different as an individual, because you go from what nobody fucking thinks about this. Nobody thinks about this other than the people who are actually going through it. And so I was having a chat yesterday so I went to the gym, right? Went to the gym, usual time, blah, blah, blah. And then in the same gym that I go to, downstairs, there's like a pool and a sauna and a spa and I guess a steam room, which is pretty cool. And I pay one membership and I get access to everything, which is very nice. And so I thought to myself, like, oh, it's Saturday. I'm just gonna go to the sauna or the spa after the gym, so that way I can focus a bit more on recovery, because I was doing some new exercises at the gym and I felt like shit, bro. So I was like, okay, I need to make sure that I don't end up sick. So I went into the steam room, I went into the spa, I went into the pool, I did some cold hot treatment, switching, and then there was these two guys that I had been chatting with for quite some time, because they actually go to the pool and the gym quite a lot, and I told them, like, oh yeah, I go every single day, da, da, da. And we had a good conversation, and then they kept asking me, like, oh, well, you know, you're very inspiring for a young guy. Like, you're only 23 and it looks like you've done already so much. And I was telling them, like, I mean, I guess, like, I didn't really look at it that much over the past 4 years, how much I've worked on building myself and getting better and understanding how I work, how my brain works, how I can become better at business, how I can become better at talking to people. This was just like, it's just like, it feels like I just woke up with these skills. I never really felt the change because it happened over such a long period of time. And so I was talking to these guys and they were saying, like, yeah, it's really interesting, you know, like, you're very inspiring to be around. And I got the same thing from walking down the street and this this guy who's like a fundraiser, you know, the fundraisers on the street who like would stop you and they say, like, hey, have you heard of so and so, whatever, and they want to sell you on like a donation for like I don't know, saving kids, or like, I guess charity or whatever. And so every time he sees me and I see him, like, I say hi to him and I say, like, hey, how's it going, da da da. And then he tells me, like, how I'm such a, like, I guess, a shining individual, and how I carry myself, how I dress, how I talk to people. And it made me realize that so few people actually go through and become the kind of person I am. And there's a lot of people that might think, like, okay, well, don't fucking get full of yourself, like, whatever. And I was like, yeah, but I'm just a human. I'm just some random guy that was dealt a certain hand and who just played his cards right. You could have done the same thing. It might have taken you 5 years instead of 4. It might have taken you 1 year instead of 4. Who knows? But I'm a human just like you. And you can do the same thing I've done. If I have accomplished everything that I've accomplished, if I'm so good at speaking to people, if I'm so socially outgoing, if I'm an extrovert now. I used to be an introvert, shy, overweight, stressing the fuck out every single conversation, didn't know what to say. And that's changed now. Going to the gym, I'm like 79 kilos. So that's roughly, what? 180 pounds? Something like that, I think. Took so much time to just focus on myself in order to build myself into a person that my future wife and my family could enjoy my company because of how many resources and how many skills and how many things I bring to the table. I want to be able to help them so that way they can help themselves. I want to lead by example, show them what a man can actually become. Because it's by doing it yourself that you're going to show others what is possible. So many people don't know what's actually possible to do, and you would actually be surprised how much shit can a human mind go through, how much shit a human body can do when you actually push it as far as you can. You can use 16 hours a day to work on your business, and you will still not get anywhere if you don't do the right moves. But if you do, you end up becoming such a, I guess, inspiring, different individual than everybody else around you. Like, honestly, all of the skills I've learned to help me get better at business. And the simple fact that it has benefited my personal life at the same time has been like the most incredible thing ever. So I think I heard this one time before. It was just kind of funny. I think it was somebody who was saying, being a business owner, being an entrepreneur is like self-improvement on crack. And it's true. Because you need to be the best version of yourself if you want your businesses to succeed. Because if you don't, you'll fail and you'll make no money. And you might sink in thousands of hours with no return. And people will start to say to you, hey, are you sure this is a good idea? And your brain will say the same thing. But you have to keep going, and you have to not only keep going, but you have to take the right steps. You have to think for yourself, am I doing the right thing right now, or could I be doing something better, something more productive? Can I do this more efficiently? And go through this a million different times. I made a video recently about the 3 things that make a great man. It was discipline, reflecting, so you need to strategize and reflect on how you can do things better, more efficiently and differently. And the third one was social interactions. Become very good at being a social individual. And once you have all those 3 things, and I suggest you go see that video if you want more details on that, is that you just become a beacon of light for the people around you. You basically just become a sun. And the people around you want to orbit the sun because it's so damn warm and attractive, and the energy's nice. And so you can do this as well. If I've been able to do this and set myself up, buy a suit, look good, take care of my appearance, grow a business, develop connections, talk to people, improve my skills, you can do the same. And with that said, I appreciate every single one of you guys. watching until the end of the video. And as per usual, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I post every single day, one video, and like, I guess one short or whatever. And it's time to get back to work. Even though the sun is not necessarily showing, it is out because the light is shining down upon us. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one tomorrow. See ya.